paving way for Mudashiru Basa's reinstatement. Federal government introduces 2-week site work policy to road contractors. On the foreign scene, West African mission leaves Guinea-Bissau after President Mbali's threats. In sport, Nigeria to host 13th ECOWAS wrestling tourney. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. The first female speaker in the history of Lagos House of Assembly, Mojisola Miranda, has resigned from her position while Mudashiru Basa has been sworn in as the speaker. Miranda announced her resignation at plenary following a deal brokered by party leaders to end the leadership crisis in the 10th State Assembly. Miranda was elected as speaker on January 13, 2025, following the removal of Mudashiru Basa. She held the office for 49 days. In several emotional speeches preceding her resignation, lawmakers eulogized Miranda as a compassionate, humble, dedicated, source of inspiration and time-conscious leader who has made history and written her name in gold. Also speaking, the Deputy Speaker Fatai Majid stepped down from the role, reverting to his role as the Chief Whip of the House, while Setonji David Badagry Constituency 2 emerged Deputy Chief Whip. Temitope Adewale Ifakoijaye Constituency 1 retained his position as the Majority Leader, while Adedamola Kasumu Ikeja Constituency 2 remains his position as Deputy Majority Leader. Our correspondent Abela Fagbalagun reports that Miranda returned as Deputy Speaker of the House. The Rivers State House of Assembly has given Governor Siminalai Fabara 48 hours to present the 2025 budget to the lawmakers. They made this known during plenary in Port Harcourt, with the motion moved by the Deputy Speaker, Dumle Maul. In his remarks, the Speaker, Martin Amawale, condemned Fubara's directive to the heads of local government administration to take charge of the council, saying it is illegal and against the Supreme Court decision. The lawmakers drew the governor's attention to the provision of the 1999 Constitution as amended, the Rivers State Local Government Law 2023, as well as the judgment of the Supreme Court that prohibits the administration of local government of heads of local government administration or any other persons other than democratically elected officials. Lagos State government has revealed its plans to revolutionize malaria control through digital innovations, strengthen case management, and enhance public-private partnerships in healthcare delivery. Commissioner for Health Akin Abayomi stated this at a press briefing ahead of the unveiling of high-impact initiative tagged Pathway to Malaria Pre-Elimination and Digitization Program in Lagos State. Abayomi noted that Lagos is aligning with the national and global agenda to enhance child survival and build human capital by accelerating malaria control and strengthening the health platform. According to the Commissioner, malaria remains a persistent challenge and significant public health issue in Lagos, despite being a lower prevalence compared to other parts of Nigeria.
Lagos currently has an under 5 mortality of 59 per 1,000 live births and will be looking to achieve an equivalent 25% reduction over the next few years. Malaria in Lagos remains a persistent challenge. Malaria remains a significant public health issue in Lagos State, despite being or having a lower prevalence compared to other parts of Nigeria. Recent trends indicate that malaria prevalence in Lagos has been fluctuating under 3% for the past 10 years. This means that 3 out of every 100 Lagosians in community have malaria parasites in their blood.
Also speaking, Special Advisor to the Governor on Health, Kemi Ogunyemi, said the initiative is about changing behaviors, especially assumptions and self-medication.
If you really have malaria and then we give you a malaria drug, you're taking the drug so many times that your body doesn't even react to it. So hopefully with this, and we do need everybody's attention, everybody's help, because the symptoms were malaria symptoms, but so were COVID symptoms. There are a lot of situations where every single symptom you have is actually representing something else. And so we want to eliminate malaria so you do not have to take malaria drugs. if you do not have malaria. Because I know you're probably going to ask how much is it going to cost and all that. But part of that is also encouraging people to take Ileriko. Not only do we have Ileriko, we also have Ikusha for those who are vulnerable or they cannot even afford it.
Our correspondent Adirayo Iduwolaya reports that the Lagos State government will on Tuesday launch the Pathway to Malaria Pre-Elimination and Digitization Program under the Impact Project, part of Nigeria's improved child survival program for human capital, aimed at significantly reducing under 5 mortality and improving access to essential health. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FADN, has announced that temporary closure of runway 18R/36L at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, for rehabilitation work. The closure, scheduled for March 3 and 4, comes just 2 weeks after the runway was reopened following an 11-month maintenance shutdown. FADN's head of operations, J.U. Mosu, in a memo cited safety concerns, stating that construction equipment at the A2 taxiway link could pose a hazard to landing and departing aircraft. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has mandated that road contractors will work on site for at least 2 weeks before receiving mobilization fees. Minister of Works David Umahi announced this during an inspection of the Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano dual carriageway. Umahi explained that the policy aims to ensure that only committed contractors handle Nigeria's road projects, thereby reducing cases of abandoned construction site, stressing that ministry's decision is the way to go for sustainable project development and delivery. The minister provided an update on the Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano dual carriageway, a key economic corridor linking Nigeria's northern and southern regions, as well as neighboring countries like Cameroon, Niger, and Benin Republic. He said the final section of the project, Zaria to Kano, would soon be approved and awarded, addressing the recent termination of the contract on the project, citing delays as the reason. Umahi added that these measures aim to enhance accountability, minimize project abandonment, and improve the quality of road construction across Nigeria. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in the 19 northern states and Abuja, has condemned the closure of public and private schools in some northern states during Ramadan. While condemning the action of the affected state, the Christian body asked northern governors to match education with spiritual practice. The call followed the directive to close public and private schools in Bauchi, Katsina, Kano, and Kebbi State for 5 weeks during Ramadan. In a statement issued in Kaduna, Northern CAN chairman John Hayab expressed concerns that the closure would negatively impact senior secondary students preparing for examinations and junior students sitting for junior secondary schools examination in the affected state. President Bola Tinubu has received the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, at the State House in Abuja. Bio was received on arrival by the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. The Sierra Leonean president, who is in the country for a private engagement, arrived at the State House around noon for a courtesy visit to the chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. In foreign news now, the West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS, says a mission deployed to Guinea-Bissau to help resolve an election dispute has left the country after President Umaru Embalo threatened to expel it. The team was sent in last month to help reach a political consensus on how to hold elections this year. Guinea-Bissau's general elections had been scheduled for last November, but Embalo postponed them. It has since announced 30th November this year as the new date. The opposition has opposed the delay and said Embalo's term should have expired last week, although a Supreme Court ruling recently extended his term in office to September. In sport now, as part of celebrations marking the 50th anniversary of the West African Regional Body, ECOWAS, Nigeria is set to host its 13th African Wrestling Tournament in Abuja. The event, in collaboration with the National Sports Commission, NSC, will be staged at the Velodrome Package A of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, between the 6th and the 8th of March, and will bring together top wrestling talents from across the West African sub-region. NSC Chairman Shehu Diko assured that Nigeria would deliver a hospitable and world-class event. The championship is expected to strengthen regional sport ties while showcasing Nigeria's growing stature as a hub for international sporting events. And that's it on the news at 6, but just before we go, speed thrills but kills. Please do not drive beyond specified speed limit. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 450,000 pupils with e-learning devices? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The first female speaker in the history of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mojisola Miranda, has resigned from her position while Mudashiru Obasa has been sworn in as the speaker. The federal government has mandated that road contractors will work on site for at least 2 weeks before receiving mobilization fees. We also told you that the West African Regional Bloc ECOWAS says a mission deployed to Guinea-Bissau to help resolve an election dispute has left the country after President Umaru Embalo threatened to expel it. Finally, in sport, as part of celebrations marking the 50th anniversary of the West African Regional Body ECOWAS, Nigeria is set to host its 13th African Wrestling Tournament in Abuja. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Majid Ololadi. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good evening.